Welcome back to the Black and Yellow Podcast, where we discuss all things Pittsburgh Steelers. Football is back again. It's been a week. It is Saturday. Tomorrow will be Sunday, if I didn't need to tell you guys that already, which means that the Steelers will be coming back to Acrisure Stadium for the first time this season to take on the Seattle Seahawks in DK Metcalf's revenge game. And you can look at DK Metcalf to really have a big game here. I think he's really going to be fueled. I think the Steelers know that. I think the Steelers are going to give him the ball a lot because I know that he's going to be playing, or because they know that he's going to be playing with a little bit more intensity. Not like DK Metcalf doesn't play with intensity, but he's going to be playing with that much more intensity. So I think you can expect a big game. Maybe looking at over 100 yards. A touchdown maybe from DK Metcalf. So I think you can expect that out of him. Injuries out this week. Derek Harmon remains out. Deshaun Elliott remains out. And Malik Harrison is out. All three of them with a knee injury. That brings me to the big sign that the Steelers made to replace Deshaun Elliott. And they said they're hoping to get Deshaun Elliott back by week 4 in the game in Dublin, Ireland, when they're going to face the Minnesota Vikings. They're hoping to get him back. But for now, taking over his role will be Jabril Peppers, ranked 3rd in PFF grades last year for his safeties. He was released by the Patriots, which I'm wondering if that is some kind of personal issue that he got released, because he is most certainly good enough to be a top safety, not just on a team, but in the league. So that is a big boost for the Steelers defense. Also injuries to watch: Nick Herbig and Joey Porter. Mike Tomlin did say that they're both optimistic. If I had to guess, Porter's going to be out, Herbig's going to be in. I'd be shocked if Porter plays. Don't mark my words. He could end up playing, but I don't think he's going to play. I think they're going to rule him out. So in Nick Herbig, I think they're going to keep him. They're going to get him back in. But I don't think anything's a gimme. Nick Emanwari and Ashana Nwasu, safety and edge from the Seahawks, are both guys that are questionable to go. So 2 guys out of their defense might, if neither of them can go, or if even one of them can't go, that would be an advantage for Aaron Rodgers, DK Metcalf, and the rest of the Steelers defense. Now let's look at the Seahawks offense. Left guard Charlie Cross, left tackle Charlie Cross, left guard Gray Zabel, center Oluwatimi, right guard Christian Haynes, and right tackle Abraham Lucas. At quarterback, obviously Sam Darnold, coming off of his, bounce back. His first actual decent season in Minnesota. He is going to be throwing the ball to JSN, Jackson Smith, and Njigba. Cooper Kupp, their big acquisition, besides Sam Darnold, their big wide receiver acquisition off of free agency. Then running backs Kenneth Walker, Zach Charbonnet. I think Kenneth Walker is he's good. Like he's good. And then tight end Elijah Arroyo. I think from their offense, you're gonna expect just kind of a mix. A lot less running than the Jets did, but still, I think you're gonna expect a lot of running from the Seattle team as well, and they're going to be very similar to what the Steelers did last week. I think both teams are going to have a similar style of offense. Defensive line for the Seahawks: DeMarcus Lawrence on the edge, Jaron Reed at 3 tech, Byron Murphy II at nose, Leonardo Williams at 5 tech, and Ushana Nuoso at the other side on the edge. He is questionable, as I mentioned, so it is possible that we might see a replacement for him. That who would replace him, I do not know. Linebackers Ernest Jones and Tyrese. It's a weird spelling of Tyrese. Tyrese Knight. Secondary, cornerback 1, Devon Witherspoon. Cornerback 2, Rick Woodland. Safety, Julian Love and Kobe Bryant. And then quarterback, Josh Jobe. So even though Witherspoon is listed as cornerback 1, he's more of a slot corner. So, and he's a smaller guy, shorter arms, talented, very talented corner. But I think you're going to see him more up against CA3 because Woolen is a big guy. He's similar to a Corey Trice. Big arms, big reach. Still a good, very talented guy in coverage. So I think that's another reason why DK Metcalf is going to have a big game. Is I think they're going to pair. I think the Seahawks are going to pair Metcalf off with Woodland instead of Witherspoon. I would still maybe expect a little bit of Witherspoon versus Metcalf. But that will be that is to be determined. All right, let's get into the keys to victory for the Steelers. Up front, I think they just need to get out there, get in their face, get after Sam Darnold. Just really get to him. That's the signature of the Steelers defense, and they didn't really get to Justin Fields that well last week. They did, but not as well as they probably should have. Watt needs to really step up. Not saying he didn't have a bad game, but he didn't have his best game. He still had a sack, but he didn't have his best game. He made more mistakes than he normally does. So I think if Watt really steps up here, uses the crowd to his advantage, I think you could really. I think he could really be a game changer. Another thing up front, they got to hold up the run. As I mentioned in my preview from last week, the run defense wasn't great up the middle. Really anywhere, but especially up the middle. I think our edge rushers need to be a little bit less. Like, I'm going to go and I'm going to get this quarterback and sack him. I'd love that. But I think they should have realized that in the second quarter, which has started to do a little bit more. Second half. That you need to also focus on the other team's running. Alex Highsmith and TJ Watt kind of bit a little bit too much on the fact that they were going to throw the ball. And certainly didn't help guys up the middle who also kind of need to step up a little bit more. More keys to victory on the defense. Another key to victory on the defensive side. You got to be really careful with JSN. He's speedy. He's fast. He's a bigger guy. I think if you're going to let them beat you in the air, let them beat you with Cooper Kupp. I think JSN, you really need to make sure that if you need to put Jalen Ramsey on him and then give Darius Slay Cooper Kupp, and if Joey Porter Jr. is out, then with Dante Kent. I think Joey Porter Jr. is going to be out. I'm almost positive. I've heard some things that he's out, but I don't think it's been confirmed yet. So we will see tomorrow. I probably won't give you guys any updates. I think you'll just have to turn on the game and see. But yeah, I don't expect Joey Porter Jr. to play this week. So card going off. If I would maybe think about, not expect, but watch, be a little bit more question Herbeck's going to play a little bit more just because I think there's a better chance of him playing. But even then, I wouldn't keep your hopes up. On the offensive side of the ball, really continue to feed DK Metcalf, especially when against his former team. He knows a little bit more of what he's doing against his former defense. He is going to be looking for that revenge. He's going to be feasting, so really get him going. And then you got to get Warren going. All of our running backs, to be honest, didn't really have their best game, and it's not necessarily their fault. I think our offensive line really isn't helping them right now. But if you can just give Warren a couple holes, then I think he will. If you can get him going, it will be almost a necessity in this football game. And then when it comes to turnovers, obviously take care of the ball, and then make that big splash play, that big play late in the game that the Steelers always tend to do. Kenneth Gainwell with it last week. So either it be forced fumble, a really big sack, a deep ball touchdown, a pick, whatever it may be, the Steelers need to make that play. And if the Seahawks make one of those plays, and the Steelers need to make two of them, you need to make one more big play than the Seahawks make to win this football game. All right, that is it. For me, just my score prediction. Before I give you my score prediction, make sure to leave yours down below. I think it's going to be fairly low scoring. I think it's going to be close and come right down to the end. I'm going to go 20-17 for your Pittsburgh Steelers. One touchdown, maybe two. Let's go 2 touchdowns, 2 field goals. That gets you right there. For them, I think they have 2 touchdowns, 1 field goal. I think it's going to be another game-winning field goal by Chris Boswell. Maybe even over 60 yards. I don't know. I don't think it seems to be not quite 60 yards. Let's say 57-yard game-winning field goal by Chris Boswell. Either I don't know if it's going to be the last drive or if it's going to be the last time where we have to go back and defend. But otherwise, I think that's going to be your outcome. Again, leave yours in the comments below. And adios, amigos.